Yes.
Are you bleeding? Do you need first aid?
I'm going to use the pain.
Welcome, everybody, to the One Stage at a Time podcast, the podcast where we're playing through video games every single level, not skipping shit. We're playing through all the levels in a game. Right now, we are approaching the end. We are in the penultimate level of Sonic the Hedgehog for the Sega Game Gear. I am Aaron Eason, and I am joined by my handsome, taking up most of the frame friend, Andy.
It's not only the penultimate zone, but also the penultimate act of the penultimate zone.
Did I say zone? I meant zone. I probably said level.
I'm not sure what you said, but it is the penultimate act of the penultimate zone.
but you all know what I mean because Andy just explained it to you. And we are also joined by our longtime friends and Sonic, what's the word for it?
Aficionados?
Perverts.
Perfect. There you go. All those. You just heard him. We have Ed Tirado. Ed, welcome.
Hey, everybody.
And Jared Vandergriff. Welcome back, Jared.
Howdy.
Howdy do. We just played through Act 2 of Scrap Brain Zone.
It certainly was a scrap brain zone.
Yes, whatever that means, it was that.
Aaron, you should let me share my screen.
I should let you share your screen. Should I let you share your screen? Because, I mean, I don't know what you're going to show us.
I mean, you can keep doing this silly riff if you want to, or you can just let me share.
Or I was just filling time while I actually let you share your screen, dude.
Okay, well, folks, Scrap Brain Zone, Act 2. So again, we're playing through a stage that can only be inferior to its Genesis counterpart. Scrap Brain Zone for the Genesis, really a great zone all around. I mean, we all like it anyway. It's difficult, but it's memorable. It's Dr. Robotnik's first super bass and maybe his most interesting, most iconic super bass. But here we are again, back in the Game Gear version, as sort of an inferior version. Act 1 was very straightforward, but Act 2 is something a little bit different. Aaron, what did you think of Act 2 of Scrap Brain Zone?
Well, I tell you, the first thing I wrote down in excitement was puzzle with an exclamation point. Because puzzles not only are few and far in between in this Sonic game, they are few and far between in every Sonic game. Sonic games have like next to no puzzles, especially the 2D ones. The 2D ones, no matter which way you go, usually you'll find the way through. Like there's a path through. This one, you gotta weave around the level, and I dug it. I was like, this is unique and different and fun, and I like it.
Ed, what about you? What did you think of Scrap Brain Zone Act 2?
It was okay. It wasn't my favorite level. He's right that most Sonic games don't have puzzles, and this definitely stands out. I think it just took me a second to get used to that fact because I'm so used to Sonic games not having them. But once I adjusted to it, I did actually like this level.
Yeah. Jared, what about you, sir? Do you have any thoughts to add on Scrap Brain Zone Act 2?
Just that this game sort of focuses on exploration as a gameplay mechanic, and I like that the puzzle in this case is basically like you have to figure out where to go, which I think dovetails nicely with the entire design philosophy of the game. And I like that it forces you to try things and experiment. I think that's fun. I think it could be frustrating depending on, where you end up going and how you get there.
Yes. Yes.
But yeah, it's interesting. I'll say it's interesting. I don't know if it's fun, but
well, as we know, interesting games are oftentimes better than good or fun games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd agree with that.
What about you, Andy? What did you think?
I think it's an interesting stage. It's one thing that's interesting about it to me is that this is one of the few times in this or any Sonic game that you have doors that you go through that take you to a different map entirely. Like you start in kind of one half of it, and then you'll go through a door, and then you end up in this other half that is like a discrete, like, I don't know, even know what you would call it, but like another area in the game that's not like connected together. And then there's several doors that go back and forth. There's also teleporters. So it's a big fat maze. It can be kind of confusing because you're teleporting around. You're going up and down through different areas that look similar to one another. So it can be easy to lose track of which level you're on, or which floor you're on, I mean. Although there are those helpful lights that light up from top to bottom to kind of indicate which floor that you're on. So I like that. But I don't know. On the whole, it's a little frustrating. I'll say this one is a little bit frustrating.
I appreciated, though, how, once again, it's very different from the first act of this zone.
Yes,
they abandoned it for Labyrinth Zone, that tradition of making the two acts quite different. But in this one, they brought it back, where it was very different from the first one. The first one was very straightforward, just a straightforward platformer, and you get to the end of the level. This one, there's lots of exploration, lots of different paths you can take and check out. And it can be a little confusing, but that's part of the puzzle, but they also help you out with those little indicator lights. And I appreciated, once again, how well this game differentiates between the acts. I liked it.
I didn't even notice the lights, actually.
I'm Jared. I have spatial awareness. I don't need blinking lights to tell me where I am.
I was just wandering around, and then I stumbled into the Chaos Emerald, and I stumbled into the end, and I was like, oh, okay, I guess I'm done.
I stumbled into the Chaos Emerald too, and then I was like, wait, can you fall down all the pits? And I tried one of the other pits, and you cannot fall down all the pits.
I did the same thing.
So kind of like describing in words how this level is laid out is kind of tricky because of like the architecture and sort of the geometry. But basically, you're going through a series of like screen transitions and teleporters. There's different doors, like shutters that are closed that might be one-way shutters, or you need to step on a switch to close a shutter. So kind of the puzzles of getting through the maze involve, like, you might see the path you need to go through, but there's a shutter blocking it, or you might see the Chaos Emerald, but there's a shutter in the way. So you have to figure out how to work your way around, fall down a particular pit, hit a particular teleporter to get around to where the Chaos Emerald is or where the switch is at. Oftentimes involving some backtracking. So this stage is actually, I think, the longest stage that we've played so far. Definitely in terms of the time it takes to complete it, if not in actual distance.
Yeah. I felt like one of the jungle ones might be a little bit longer, but I could just be,
It's interesting that the previous level is just so short. In that context too. Like, I don't know if I wonder which one they designed first. Like, if they designed this and then they were like, God, this one's so long, like we have to make the other one shorter.
Yeah.
It's funny you bring that up. We actually, who suggested that might have been the case last episode?
Yeah, Ed did.
Really?
So they might have completed the game and then forgotten to add another act to that level.
Yeah, honestly, like both mini sections of this zone are both probably longer in and of themselves than the first act, the first actual act of this zone.
Yeah, probably. Did you guys find the extra life? There was an extra life in here somewhere.
I'm not sure if I did.
You can see it on the other side of a one-way door.
There it is.
Yep.
Yeah,
In the Master System version, that's probably a little bit easier, just given the much better screen resolution. You can see more of what's happening around you in the maze, so it's probably a little easier in that regard.
Yeah, I don't like the design of Sonic for the Master System version. I don't know what it is about him. He looks like a midget or something. Which that's not. I'm sorry.
You're supposed to say little person.
Yeah, he looks out of proportion.
Yeah. It's weird because I'm not really sure how to describe it, but the Master System version has inferior graphics, but better resolution.
Yeah.
So in some ways it looks better, but in other ways it looks worse.
Yeah. Have you guys Ed, I know Ed's played Sonic 2 for the Game Gear. I'm pretty sure that they use it's a more direct port. If there was a Master System version, I'm not sure, but
there is. There is.
Yeah, it feels like it's a more direct port because they use that model, the model from the Master System for Sonic 2, unless I'm mistaken. And it's the feel of Sonic 2 for the Game Gear just blah, blah.
that tracks because Sonic 2 for the Game Gear definitely has worse screen crunch problems. It feels like they didn't take as much effort to create a real thoughtful transition. They just kind of copy and pasted it over and said, good enough.
Pump out games.
So we did find the 5th Chaos Emerald. Did you guys all find the Chaos Emerald in the stage?
Yep.
I did, completely by accident, but I did. I thought I was falling to my death, but I didn't. I found a Chaos Emerald instead.
Ed was shaking his head. You did not achieve the Chaos Emerald, sir.
No, man, it's too ingrained in my brain to not jump in those pits.
Yeah. There's not a lot of cases in Sonic games where you're supposed to intentionally jump into what looks like a pit.
Yeah.
Right?
There are some times where sinking isn't bad.
That's true.
In Sandopolis zone, I think if you sink down under some of the sinky sand, then it's okay.
Yeah.
In a Sonic Mania, I want to say. What level is it?
Knuckles.
Yeah, but what's the zone called?
It's not Flying Battery, is it? Flying Battery, I think if you sink down a couple times, it's good.
No, it's the Mirage Saloon, right?
We'll say it's Sandopolis Zone and Sonic and Knuckles.
Yes, Sandopolis Zone and Sonic and Knuckles, but there's a zone in Sonic Mania where when you sink down underneath a bunch of junk, it's a bunch of junk if you sink down.
Oh, yeah, I think that is Flying Battery.
Yeah, I want to say it's Flying Battery, and you can that's one of the ways to get to one of the special zones. I know to get a Chaos Emerald there. So sinking down in some Sonic games is not bad.
That's video game 101 though, isn't it? If you have a slow quicksand or something, there's going to be an area where you're supposed to sink all the way through it and find a secret.
It's such a crapshoot though. 9 times out of 10, you're dead. It's a mean secret to hide because
you got to have those gamers instincts.
Yeah, no kidding.
Developed over time.
Or just make a dumb mistake.
There you go.
Yeah,
yep.
Or just make a dumb mistake. All right, we've been looking too long at this Game Gear stuff. I long for the original Scrap Brain Zone just to see how it compares. So, folks, let's go back to the source, the true, the OG as it was meant to be. Scrap Brain Zone, 16-bit for the Sega Genesis.
Why you do this to me, Andy? Why you make me look at this? It's so much better.
It is so much better.
Yeah, it's incredible. It's glorious, isn't it?
I don't even want to see it. It just makes me sad. I enjoyed this last level. I enjoyed Act 2 for the Game Gear, and you're ruining it.
Yeah, this is what we do on this show. We ruin things. One thing that is really cool about Scrap Brain Zone for the Genesis, besides everything about it, but one thing that's really cool is that the acts are very distinct in the way they look. And that's not the case with any other act in the original Sonic the Hedgehog. But Act 1, you're outside. You see all these factories belching flames in the background.
Yeah, look at that in the background. Gorgeous.
So cool.
You're in Blade Runner.
Yeah. Eggman's whole world here is just toxic and terrible. I love it. But then Act 2, you're inside. You've moved to the interior of his factory.
You've busted in.
You busted in.
And now you're inside the clockwork.
You're inside the clockwork.
Jared doesn't know this, but Jared, this was originally called Clockwork Zone.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. Why did they change it to Scrap Brain? Is there a lore
Clocks are lame
thing for that?
You mean you don't know?
Does it mean anything? Oh, okay.
I tell you what, I looked for an explanation of why it's called Scrap Brain Zone, and none was forthcoming. The closest thing I found was in the Archie comics Sonic the Hedgehog. There's a point where they go to Scrap Brain Zone, and someone, I think Princess Sally, is like, "This is Scrap Brain Zone," and Sonic's like, "What? That's a stupid name. Why is it called Scrap Brain Zone?"
That's not a good game, Sonic.
Yeah. Isn't this just glorious though, folks?
It's so much. It's so much better. You got the buzz saws and the spinny wheels that you run on, and the little slammy cruncher things.
Mm-hmm.
Little slammy cruncher things, whatever they're called, and the bombs. Oh, I hate those bombs, but
those
I love
bombs
those
are the
bombs.
worst.
I hate them, but I love them.
What's it called? The Game Gear version only has 2 badniks. You've only got the Caterkillers and those pig guys who I can't think of the name of right now.
I do not know their name either. I'm going to Google it real quick.
Yeah. I knew it maybe an hour ago when I looked it up, but now I don't know it. Yeah. So
Ball hog. Ball hog. Get it?
Whoa. Your connection really fucked up there, buddy.
Oh no, did it?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
It was perfect though. It sounded awesome.
It stretched out you saying ball hog in a really ridiculous way.
I was wondering why everybody paused, but okay, great. Glad it worked out. Ball hog. That's what they're called, which is a great pun.
Yeah. So, we can pause it right there. But of course, anyone who's played the original Sonic the Hedgehog knows that Scrap Brain Zone Act 3 is a big fat troll, because Big Fat Eggman drops you down into like a redux of Labyrinth Zone. So apparently Labyrinth Zone canonically is directly below Scrap Brain Zone.
Although, well, we know that.
So it was actually supposed to be a sewer system, but they didn't have time to make the assets for it, so they just reused the Labyrinth Zone stuff.
Nice.
That's incredible. Okay. I'm glad that I know that.
It works. It works. That's clever.
Thank you, Yuji Naka, for that.
And also, but now we played the Game Gear version. We've seen the map. We know that Labyrinth Zone is actually right in underneath Scrap Brain Zone.
That's true.
So we know that when we were in the Labyrinth Zone, we were jumping and swimming through all of Eggman's shit, literally.
Oh, no.
His fecal matter and urine.
Whoa!
That's truly vile and disgusting.
That's why he's got such a big smile whenever you see him.
Because he knows.
He knows.
It's like in that movie, The Help. Did you guys ever see that?
Mm-hmm.
Where the lady makes the shit pie and makes the white lady eat it.
I've heard of that scene, but yeah.
It's what's that actress's name? The one
Octavia
who is
Spencer?
in Octavia Spencer. Yeah, she makes a shit pie and makes a white lady eat it.
Nice.
Yeah, it's pretty tight. The lady's like,
don't you guys hate
so
white people?
tasty.
I hate white people.
Well, I don't hate white people because I am white.
You can self-hate. It's fine.
Nah.
I support you.
Hate yourself as much as you want, buddy.
I mean, I do hate myself, but it's not because I'm white. Let's see. Where were we?
We're trying to take down Robotnik, the wet man.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, I'm back around to hating white people again because Robotnik is white. I've really done a growth on this episode. I've learned about white fragility, and now I hate Eggman, the ultimate white man. I wanted to share this. In the manual for Sonic 1, Scrap Brain Zone is described as slippery metal floors, razor-sharp saws, and grinding wheels. Now you're one step away from Dr. Robotnik's hideout, implying that Scrap Brain Zone is not Dr. Robotnik's hideout.
Maybe in Sonic 1, he never finds Dr. Robotnik's hideout. Because it's the Death Egg Zone that hasn't been revealed yet.
Oh, maybe so. Or they're implying that Final Zone is his hideout?
Yeah.
Probably. That's probably what they meant.
Yeah, that's probably what they meant.
Is a slippery metal floor just a conveyor belt? Is that what that means?
That's a good question, Jared. Because a conveyor belt is neither slippery nor metal.
Right.
It could be. It could be both. It could be both.
Now, of course, in Sonic for the Game Gear, Scrap Brain Zone is one step away from his hideout because there's one more zone coming up, but we're not going to go there just yet.
Nor have we beaten Robotnik even.
Nor have we beaten Robotnik even.
We haven't beat Robotnik in the Scrap Brain Zone yet. That's next act. We're not there yet.
It may or may not be next act. You'll have to tune in next time to see, folks.
Oh my.
Now, of course, Scrap Brain Zone does make an appearance in the Archie Sonic comics, sort of.
Princess Sally says, let's go to the Scrap Brain Zone. And Sonic says, that's stupid. I'm naming it Clockwork Zone.
Yeah. Well, very late in the Archie Sonic comics run, I'm talking like, around like issue like 200 or something. There's some shenanigans where there's like this Super Genesis wave that comes through. Like Robotnik starts to like completely remake the fabric of like the whole fucking world.
He gets all 7 Chaos Emeralds and sticks them in the Infinity Gauntlet. And
it's like an Infinite Crisis type situation.
Okay.
And so he's like he unleashes this Genesis wave to like remake the whole goddamn world, and it like starts to like change the fabric of Mobius, and other shit starts to appear, and I think they fix it, but then they don't fix it, and then eventually that whole thing is used as an excuse to rewrite the continuity when Ken Penders sued Archie Comics. Ken Penders, of course, the head writer of most of the Sonic the Hedgehog series.
And he owns all the echydnas now.
He owns all the echydnas, which no doubt he has lots of not safe for work pictures of saved on his hard drive.
Well, don't we all? Don't judge.
I'm not judging. I'm just saying that is something he's into.
So it really was an Infinite Crisis sort of situation where they're using it to retcon all this stuff.
Basically, yeah. They made it more in line with the games. So then he's like, Sonic and Co. are going to like all the different zones from the games and kind of like reliving all this stuff that now is like in the continuity, but kind of wasn't before. It's all very unclear. I suppose you'd have to read all like 290 issues of the Archie Sonic comic to get it.
Okay, remind me, are there humans / Overlanders in Archie or in Sonic comics?
Yes.
Okay.
Of which Dr. Ovi Kintober is one.
Right. So is it anything like the Sonic Adventure games where there are like human cities and stuff? Or like, is that just Sonic Adventure? It's got all these like human type cities with presidents and freeways and stuff. And then there's all the video games with like Overlanders and Kintober and all that. It's a confusing mess. It's okay if you don't have the answer, because you probably don't, and no one really does, because Sega doesn't know what they're doing. But
I have part of an answer, and you're not going to like it.
Great.
So in the continuity of the Archie comics, Robotnik is known as Julian Kintober, and he's like a scientist who works for the Overlander like leadership, and he has to leave because he gets in trouble for his experiments or something. So he runs away and he joins the furry animal creatures and starts working for King Acorn. And then like he of course betrays them, and I think something happens where there's like a great war between all the furry woodland creatures and the Overlanders, and I think at one point all the Overlanders like get defeated or wiped out, or they like take a rocket and move to space or something like that. But whatever the case may be, they're gone. They're just all gone.
I love how that means that the furry woodland creatures are just excellent at warfare.
Yeah.
They have destructive capabilities that the Overlanders couldn't dream of.
Yeah, they were doing like guerrilla warfare. It was like the Ho Chi Minh Trail. They had tunnels everywhere.
Okay, continue. Sorry.
Yeah, I think like there's like all kinds of backstory that Ken Penders wrote, where it's like, there's like all this questionable morality on both sides, and the furry woodland creatures actually committed all kinds of like war crimes and atrocities during the war.
Meaning that Robotnik was right to betray them.
Robotnik was right to betray them.
He saw the evil on both sides and decided that robots were the only way forward. Artificial intelligence was the only
way forward.
They were the only pure, non-evil beings in the universe. Artificial intelligence has no cruelty.
It sounds like you're back around to being on Robotnik's side.
Listen, there's lots of different versions of Robotnik, lots of different versions of Sonic. Some of them are going to be on the side of angels. Some of them are going to be cruel, heartless bastards. I'm not saying if I'm talking about Sonic or Robotnik either, because it could go either way.
It's like the one with Jet Li. There's like there's an evil Robotnik going to all the different dimensions and killing every version of himself he finds.
I'm Nega Robotnik. He's here.
Be careful when you say that guy's name.
I pronounced it exquisitely. It was perfect.
Oh man, yeah. So yet more just wonderful inherent continuity from the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise.
So the answer is whatever, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Sure, the Overlanders had a president and an interstate and whatever, and then they're gone or something.
Yeah, someday I'll go back and read, like, because I read a lot of those Sonic comics when I was a kid, but I think I stopped around like issue 50 or 60 or something like that. But yeah, there's like 290 of them. They had like a side series called Sonic Universe for a while, and that did like 50 issues too. And then there were a bunch of limited series about like Princess Sally and the echydnas, Tails, like everyone was getting their own little side series. So there's a fuckload of Archie Sonic comics out there.
There's a true comic. Like
it was a real ass comic. It was really like, self-referential. There were lots of like asterisks, and then at the bottom of the panel it's like, see issue 52 for more on this.
Yeah, and they even had a retcon event.
Yeah, they had crossovers with Mega Man.
Yeah. Oh my God, I forgot about that, and how bad we need a Mega Man Sonic game.
Dude, I want that so bad. It's ridiculous.
I do too. It sounds amazing. I don't know how they would make it work, but they need to figure it out. We need to figure it out. Sell it to them.
Yes. So actually, Archie Sonic Comics is still alive in some form. I think we touched on this a little bit in a previous episode, but there is a group of people online who are continuing the Archie Comics continuity in the version of fan comics.
Yes, good. I love it.
Yeah, and of course there's the IDW Sonic comics that are going on right now, which are pretty good. And actually, one of the head writers, one of the non-Ken Penders head writers from the Archie comics, is the current head writer on the IDW comics.
Why doesn't IDW hire Ken Penders?
We can talk about why. So Ken Penders is an interesting person who is apparently very difficult to work with. He reportedly was just like dismissive of every other writer at Archie, would ignore anyone else's contributions, would ignore plots that other people came up with, and just write his own. Lots of people quit because they said they couldn't work with him. And then, of course, eventually he left the comic entirely and then sued Archie Comics and totally fucked them over and made it so they couldn't use any of the original characters that he had created.
Yeah,
which was most of them by that point.
Yeah, we've talked about him in a previous episode. I was kidding. I completely 100% know why they don't hire.
I think he's currently trying to get some kind of echydna comic going, like through like crowdsourcing or crowdfunding or something. But I'm not sure that's going to hold up at all. But you know what? God bless him. He made a lot of interesting comics that I certainly enjoyed when I was a kid. So I guess I can't say too many bad things about Ken Penders.
I don't really know him well enough to say anything one way or the other either. It probably was a bad business move to sue Archie Comics, and now nobody apparently wants to work with him. But hey man, you do you, Ken.
You do you, Ken.
You do you, buddy.
I'm trying to find a link to that online Sonic comic. Here we go. stconline.co.uk. I think this is it.
The official Sonic the Comic online.
Yeah, I think
Sonic
this is
the
it.
Comic.
Yeah,
it looks
277, legit. Which is insane. That's a lot. Teen Titans, what the fuck? Okay, I'm not sure what's happening. We're in a dark corner of the internet here now.
We'll put a link or something. You guys can explore it on your own. Maybe we'll revisit this on another episode, because
this might be something different.
We're going deep into Sonic fandom right now.
Yeah, we're in dangerous territory, gentlemen.
Yeah,
we're all getting psychological damage just from viewing this webpage.
I think we might need to abort, back out.
Get out of here, man! Get out of here before it's too late!
Ken Penders has grown too strong.
He's here now!
Oh, okay, here we go. In 2011, Ken Penders announced plans to utilize the echyd'nya characters he created for Archie Comics in a graphic novel series entitled The Lara-Su Chronicles.
Okay.
He announced on his Twitter account that his characters are no longer echyd'nya, but echyd'nya, an alien species.
Oh, no.
Sorry. Oh, my God. That's amazing. That's disgusting and stupid.
Look at their reasons for the change. One of them is because of the difficulty he has seen with people pronouncing the word echidna.
Yeah. A word notoriously difficult to pronounce.
He changed the spelling completely and stuck an apostrophe in there. Great job, Ken.
Yeah.
You fixed it.
Yeah. It's like you didn't make it easier, kid. You made it harder.
After the last time we talked about this, I went down a rabbit hole on those things. The artwork in those comics is super weird and like not good.
In the new ones, the
Lara-Su,
Lara-Su Chronicles.
Look up the covers; it's terrible.
Oh boy, I can't wait.
No.
So it's an actual thing. He actually brought this nightmare dream to fruition.
I can't wait. Let me see.
You'll find stuff of people like proving that he traced.
Oh my god.
Whoa.
Oh jeez.
No.
Oh no.
No, that's not real.
I don't like this. It says it's signed by Ken Penders.
Okay, so everybody, if you're listening, and I'm not going to recommend you do this. If you're not watching the video, I'm not going to recommend you go and Google Lara-Su Chronicles, Lara space SU.
It's hyphen
Chronicles.
SU.
Is it? Okay,
Yeah.
hyphen SU. It's interesting and disturbing, and I don't like it.
Holy Christ.
I don't like it.
This is an abomination.
It's pretty upsetting.
A crime against God and man.
The more you look at it, the worse it gets, gentlemen.
Jesus.
Oh, boy.
I think Ken Penders probably drew this himself. Which, he's like he drew on the Sonic comic, just not a lot. So he's like a professional penciler and inker, I think. But I don't know. Maybe it's like Frank Miller, where like sometimes he draws, but really you kind of wish that he wouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's clearly like somebody who has a modicum of talent as an artist, but it's just also like very uncanny valley and upsetting.
Yeah. It's someone who's like, who had some good ideas, but was given too much free reign and just went too far and just created just a horrifying nightmare.
Ah, guy, man, I'm in a bad mood now. This sucks.
Well, let's watch more of Sonic for the Game Gear, and then maybe that'll cheer you up.
I'm so upset.
Oh, shit.
Man.
Okay.
Again, I'm serious when I do not recommend looking that up, listener. But if you do, don't say I didn't warn you.
Yeah. So that's Ken Penders, the echyd'nya alien species, truly an abomination. I think I was unable to find it in 3 seconds of Googling, but I think you'd probably be better served by looking up the unofficial fan continuation of the Archie comics first, or just reading the IDW comics. Those are honestly pretty good. There is also, I think we touched on this previously, but there was a UK only Sonic the Hedgehog comic that was in like a Sega magazine in the UK. And I've never read that because it was only in the UK. I don't know any way of reading it here short of like downloading it through illegal means. And we do not support piracy on this program. But anyway, people really love that. I've seen online like UK fans just obsessed with it, and still to this day livid that it hasn't been continued.
Sonic, every aspect of Sonic will have its fandom. It's loud fandom.
Yeah. There's a part of the fan base that really wants Cream to be in.
Why'd you put it, Andy? Come on. Stop it,
Aaron.
Andy. I will revoke your screen sharing privileges.
Can you use this as the thumbnail for this episode, Aaron?
I don't.
Fantastic artwork.
I don't want Google to send me stuff because I looked at that on my computer.
Oh, baby.
Ed, you were saying something that wasn't horrible before this horrible thing showed up. What were you saying?
Damn, I don't know what it was.
This is mind bleach in the worst way, like literally pouring
It's
bleach
just
into our
seared into
brains.
your brain.
You can't think of anything else when you're looking at this nightmare.
I know.
Why are there chins?
My brain, all my thoughts went away. It's like, no, don't look at this.
You know what the weirdest thing is that they have like real hair above their echidna spikes. Like she's got this red hair over her pink echidna, like hair spikes.
Oh God, are those her hair spikes? I just assumed she had hair and like that was like some sort of head dressing, but nope. Everything is awful about that.
That's skin.
They look like the opera singer. They look like the opera singer from The Fifth Element, but like worse.
Yeah, way worse.
Way worse.
I like this one guy with like the cowboy hat and like the robot monocle.
Yeah.
Isn't that Knuckles? I thought it was Knuckles. He had a cowboy hat in
Knuckles is a trademark of Sega Corporation. That's
This is Fingers. This is Fingers in his cowboy hat.
No. This is Nucleus, the echidna.
And yes, there is an apostrophe in there. Guys, can we stop? I really wanted Andy to take this off, and I don't want to take away his.
All right, we should probably wrap up the episode.
I'm gonna go drink until I forget this.
Folks, thanks for joining us again for One Stage at a Time. Please join us again in a week's time where we will be checking out Scrap Brain Zone Act 3. Until then, you can check us out online. Find us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. We're all over the place. And in half a week's time, please join us for another episode of our main series on Doom from 1993. Aaron, what do you want to say to the folks at home before we sign off today?
I'm very upset. I'm sorry if any of you looked up Lara-Su. But please go to onestageatatime.com for all of our things. Follow, subscribe. We love you. Ed and Jared, thank you very much for being here. Gentlemen, we are always so pleased when you join us. Hopefully we'll have you again very, very, very soon. We made Ed do it last time. Jared, do you remember our sign-off?
Yeah, it's something like Lara-Su forever.
You son of a bitch.
Something like that. No, it's save and continue.